Did season 4 help you be just a little bit better when it comes to making decisions? Welcome, everybody, to the Leaders Leading Leaders podcast. Welcome, everybody, to the Leaders Leading Leaders podcast. I am your host, John Espinosa. Thank you all for joining me. Time is our most precious resource, and when you spend that time listening to the podcast, it means a lot to me. To those new listeners out there, welcome to the Go Be Great community. Thank you for joining us. For the listeners that have been out there for all this time, thank you. It goes a long way when you all share this podcast. We don't have any ads on this podcast, so by sharing this podcast, it helps me deliver the content to you. I've been in the leadership business for 15 plus years, training leaders, mentoring and coaching leaders, and walking right beside leaders just like yourselves. Our mission is to get others to where they're going, and that starts with you, the leader. So we've come to an end already of season 4. And season 4 was all centered around decision making, all things decision making. It's important for us as leaders. And I'm going to say this. So listen, turn it up. Make sure you're paying attention if you're out doing something, riding in a car or jogging, wherever you're listening to this podcast. It is up to us as leaders to make decisions. That's why we stepped into the leadership role. That's why we were hired or selected for a leadership role, is because we need to make decisions. You should be making decisions. If you've ever worked for a leader, or if you're a leader yourself, maybe you're a new leader, maybe you're a seasoned leader, and decision making has been something that you've always feared, maybe you're not good at it. And for us as leaders, we don't always get it right. I've said this several times over this season. Good leaders make bad decisions, period. We're human. Sometimes we have all the information that we possibly need, and we make a decision based on that information, and it's wrong. It just didn't come out the way that we thought it was going to come out. That's okay. That's where we learn as leaders. That's where we get experience. So next time that similar situation is confronted to us, we make a decision again. And guess what? We may strike out 0 for 2 on the second decision. But the fact that you made a decision as a leader, right, wrong, or indifferent, is the most important takeaway from this season. So you all liked a lot of the episodes that we had this season. One of the ones, garbage in and garbage out. We related that to decision making, that if you get bad information, if you surround yourself with the wrong people, garbage in, garbage out. So pay attention to the quality of the information and the quality of the thoughts. Your thoughts and the peoples around you that are providing those so that way you can make a decision. Pay attention to that as leaders. Very important. Another episode that you all liked was the tactical versus strategic mindset when you're making a decision. And a lot of this, it's levels. There's certain levels that we need to make decisions at. Some of those are tactical, day-to-day operations, putting out fires, troubleshooting. Those are very tactical type decisions. And then there are those strategic decisions where we have to have vision. We're leading people to that vision. Maybe the organization needs to be reorganized in functional areas. Maybe legacy processes that have been in place need to be changed. Those are very strategic type decisions. So understanding what level of decision that you are making as leaders is going to go a long way to helping you make better informed decisions. You get different information when you're making decisions at a strategic or a tactical level. So another episode that you all liked was getting a process. And for me, having a decision-making process is fundamental to everything that we do within our organization. That decision-making process, as we systematically step through that, whether it's a tactical or a strategic decision, whether it's a easy decision or a hard decision, whether you're informing the decision or you're making the decision, all those decision-making processes come in handy when we make a decision. It's just like anything else. We talked about how it's like the scientific method and how important it is to be comfortable with that because you're going to have to make tough decisions. And then last but not least, owning or committing to your decisions. And for a leader, this is going to go a long way for your self-confidence and the confidence of your team. We're not always going to get it right, but the fact that we made the decision and we owned it and we committed to making that decision, there is always going to be the possibility that we let people down or we don't meet the expectations through the decisions that we make. We're not always going to get it right. The point I'm making is don't beat yourself up. If you made a decision based on the information that you had, your intuition, your past experience, or maybe it was from the advice of somebody else, and you get it wrong, just course correct. If a decision that you made caused a delay in a project, or maybe a team member to decide to go a different way with a different organization, those types of decisions are going to happen. We're going to get it wrong. We're not always going to get it right. People are going to leave the organization. They may leave because of themselves, or they may leave because of the leader. And the decisions that you made could have influenced that or could have impacted that. That's a lot to bear on us as leaders. I can promise you, in your leadership journey, you are going to have a time when people leave because of a decision that you made. And that's going to be tough. That's going to be a very tough pill to swallow along that leadership journey. But just know and be confident that you made the decision to your best of ability. You own that decision and you committed to that decision. And that's all we can do as leaders. Decision making is one of those things that I still continue to struggle with. Through my coaching and my mentoring, we help others identify ways that they can make it easier for decisions to be made. I've shared some stories around personal examples. I still have a tough time whenever I purchase anything. Decisions around whether paper is good enough, or a business case, or something that I produced or my team produces. I always want to put our best foot forward. And so I'll delay until it's perfect. I'll delay until it's just right. A lot of times, the decision just needs to be made. 60, 70% of that information, make a decision. It is going to be tough, I promise you. I'm not making light of the situation, but as leaders, we have to make decisions. And good leaders make bad decisions. So one thing that I want to leave you with as we close out this season, and we're going to weave decision making into a lot of our other episodes. If you haven't been listening, go back and listen to our previous episodes. We bunch them by themes. We bunch them by topics or genres. And I'm going to mix some things in with each episode as we grow this podcast in the community that is listening to us, because I want to give the maximum benefit of being either a new leader, frontline leader, or a seasoned leader. Maybe some things that I've learned or through talking with other leaders that I've just written down and want to share, because that's what this is about. So I hope that you all have enjoyed listening to season 4 as much as I have enjoyed recording it. I'm back at home. It's nice to be home. It's nice to be in the studio with the lights and the microphone, but I've committed to doing this messy. So whenever I travel, I bring you those episodes as well. And we're going to continue to be consistent for you, continue to deliver things that you want to hear. So put down in the comments any questions that you have, any topics that you'd like to hear about as we move forward. And I'll make sure that we weave them in, because I want to keep this current and I want to keep it relevant for you. So go out there, make better decisions. Trust in yourself. You are worthy to be leaders. Go be great. Stay tuned for season 5. You're not going to want to miss it. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye. If you enjoy what you're hearing, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps us get others to where they're going.